What's up, everybody? This is Steve Sterlacci. Today we are looking at what I think might be the absolute best solution for your floor modeler when it comes to power amps. So today we're looking at the Quilter tone block. This is a sponsored video. They sent this out to me to check out, but I've got to say this thing really kicks butt. So if it's your first time here on the channel, my name is Steve Sterlacci. I do all sorts of digital modeling gear. If you already been here, then you already know that. And we're always talking about the best way to get your sound amplified on stage. It's constantly a problem. People are always wondering what's the best way to go. Should you get an FRFR speaker? Should you get a speaker cabinet? Should you get a power amp? And this tone block from Quilter is kind of like a little soft relaunch that they're doing here. They sent this out and wanted to get some content on it, and this thing does a lot of things. It does a lot of things that are going to cater to the floor modeling crowd and also just in general the gigging crowd. This as a all-in-one solution. It almost makes you think that, like, are tube amps really that great? And are solid state amps really that behind? I mean, this thing can be used as a vintage Fender style tone stack and go straight into your cabinet. It can be used into an FRFR. It can be used with a digital modeler with cab sim into a real cabinet. It basically solves every problem you might have gigging when it comes to using a floor modeler. If you need stage volume, this is going to be where you want to be. So let's just take a look at it here. We've got very basic front panel here. We've got gain limiter, bass, mid, treble, reverb, master. You got a bunch of different input options. The voice knob here, the voice switch, is going to be your FRFR full Q, which is going to be if you have your floor modeler in the chain. And then you have vintage, which is going to be where I could use this just right now as is, as an amp and cab on stage, and not need anything else. You also have a built-in effects loop, and you have your sig out, which is going to be either a line out where you're sending your full signal out line level to the front of house console or to monitor board, whatever you're doing, or it serves as a headphone amp. You can also power scale from 0 to 200 solid state watts, which is going to peel paint if you crank this thing up. I'm in my small studio here, and I've got it on like probably less than 5, and it's pretty loud in here and sounds good. But yeah, let's just get right into it. I mean, there's not much to talk about, thankfully, and it's just gonna be something that we can just play. Right now I'm set up on the vintage sound, the vintage switch. I'm going cable direct in to the tone block as if this was all I needed on a gig. And if you know my channel, I've got a lot of nice tube amps back here, and I honestly don't miss them so far playing with this. Let's hear how it sounds. This is just with a regular SM57 mic'd on my Black Star St. James cabinet, just kind of thrown on there like it would be at a gig. I didn't spend any fancy time, picking the perfect spot. I literally just threw it on in front in a decent spot, did a little sound check, and ran with it. Let's see what we got. Also, I'll be using my Nags Kenai. Look at this, it's such a nice guitar. So let's hear it. So this is kind of like a very basic clean sound, right? Nothing wrong with that bridge pickup. So I'd call that edge of breakup a good gigging sound. This is something I would actually probably put a pedal board in front of. You're getting nice bloom and nice character with it. It's not that sterile, lifeless, clean sound that you're typically used to when it comes to solid state amps. It sounds, to me, it sounds like a pretty good, like at this power setting, it sounds like a Princeton reverb that's in the room with me. Now, we have a gain knob here that we can crank. And what this limiter knob does is it just shaves the peak. So it's essentially, I mean, it is what it is. It's a limiter, but it's limiting the gain. So if you're cranking the gain up, for example, let's just show you. If I crank the gain up without the limiter, you'll start hearing a little bit of interesting crackling. You might say, oh, that's not something I want. So you can actually just dial that out. Give a little bit of a limiter. It's like 4 or 5 clicks up. But now you're getting that like feel. I mean, dialing in this limiter basically lets you kind of fine tune the feel and where you want it to sit under your fingers. So this is kind of where, oh, there's also built-in reverb. How good does this reverb sound? Crank the reverb all the way up. I get a little lost playing this, bring the reverb back down to reality. Now I'm actually going to plug in my touring rig. So this is my touring pedal board that's on the floor. We are going to throw this into the full Q mode, and we're going to see what happens. So here I've got my HX Stomp XL plugged in with my touring preset. Did you actually notice I haven't touched the EQ yet? I've had all knobs at noon and I haven't even realized that I didn't want to adjust anything. So here is my touring preset. This is available on my website if you want to check it out if you're an HX Stomp user. And I've got the Eventide H90 in the effects loop. Hit it with my Nordland ODRC. I'm actually going to take down the limiter a little bit on here. Switch over to the Prince of Tone. Get some fun lead sounds. How about that? Pedals. I mean, it sounds just like I want my preset to sound. I still haven't touched the EQ. It just does the thing. If you actually needed to EQ it to a room, I suppose that's where you'd go to, but I actually have not needed the EQ. I almost feel weird not needing to have touched it, but I kind of don't think anything was missing. Let's experiment here. Let's turn off the cab sim. Let's turn off my cab sim and have this go right in as if it were the only cabinet. So now I just bypass the cabinets and I'm just going with my matchless HX Stomp preset into this with the full Q version switch on. So I'm having the speaker sound and I'm also going to the real cabinet. So I guess this is how it's designed to go to a real cabinet. I cranked up the limiter just a little bit, just to get a little bit of that that non-speaker sound, if you will. ODRC going on. Sounds like a pretty decent amp to me. Prince's tone hits it a little bit harder. One more curiosity, let's bypass the reverb now. Use the reverb from the amp. Go a little heavy, let's have a little fun. How about some fuzz? Just mess around. So yeah, that is the Quilter Tone Block 202. This thing is an absolute beast if you are a digital modeling floorboard user, or if you just want a great, clean platform. This thing really kills it. I think I like it best as its own standalone amp. What a great sound. And it's doing the absolute perfect job of taking my actual floor modeler, amplifying it for stage use, and sounding really great. So ask any questions you may have below, and if you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.